Okay, guys, thanks for coming out and covering us. I appreciate that. Good first day. A lot of enthusiasm. Guys are flying around. You know, there's no pads, so you got to really be careful. But I was excited. It's always great to get out there for the first official day. And this team loves football, so they're fun to be around. I'll open it up for questions.
Big news leading into camp. YD Collier, your top-ranked recruit, is signed with the program. Just how big is it to get him into the program now, and just kind of what are the expectations the program has for him here in his first year?
Yeah, Wydeek, certainly a fine player, one that we're really excited about. He's got to finish up some things still, so he's not here yet, but he will get here soon. We did that with three guys. We reclassed three guys this year: Cannon Marshall, Latrell Noel, and Wydeek, and all three of them are very promising prospects. So great to get them in our program, training with us, eating with us, all those things, and then learning football and learning our culture. So very excited about all three of those guys.
Defensive line, it seems like you have a lot of depth again, especially along the interior. What are you guys kind of expecting from that group? I know there's a lot of new faces, but also a lot of veterans.
Yeah, that's a great point, Richie. We have a lot of names there that are good players. Now we have to sort out how we're going to do the rotation, and it's both inside and outside. I think, I like our depth, but how are we going to do it? That's, coaching, one of the hardest things about coaching is making sure you have the right 11 people on the field. Anybody can put 11 out there, but are they the right people for this package or this scheme or that scheme? And that's going to be a challenge in camp, is figuring out exactly what each one of these guys does best.
Linebacker position is one that's probably in a little bit of flux right now. What have you seen from a young group of guys, and is anyone standing out from the summer workouts?
Well, I don't know if it's in flux at the first two, right? Like the first two, I feel very good about Moses and DJ. They've had really good spring and summer. They've been great with their preparation and their physical makeup. So I'm excited. After that, it gets a little bit foggy. You're right, because Abe's coming back from the surgery, and then we have some young guys that are all competing for playing time. We have Austin Dean comes back, and he's thrown into the mix. So it's going to be interesting, but I think that's what this training camp is for. Let's find out who are the guys, who's the third best, who's the fourth best, and then get them ready. And then how do you put them into different packages, third down packages? This is college football's turned into an 11 and personnel game, but when people go bigger people, are we gonna have another linebacker that can go on the field? All those questions have to be answered.
With the offensive line, I guess, what's your assessment of the depth there, especially after some of the off-season additions that you guys made?
Well, again, it's not a lot different than the D-line in that we have some new additions, but I'm anxious to see them really get after it and play, right? How do they do now that we're practicing every day? Like, to me, training camp, I love training camp because it's the only time during the year that we have their entire attention. There's nothing else on the schedule except football. Right? There's no girlfriends, there's no academics, there's nothing. And we practice or walk through or recover every single day. But we meet every day. And it's every day now for whatever it is, 20-something days straight. And that's when you make your biggest improvement, right? These guys will tub up, and then they'll eat, take a nap, and then they're back in the meeting room watching what they did this morning. That's how you make progress. Tonight we'll go walk through all the things that are coming up tomorrow. We'll walk through some mistakes that we made today. That's why training camp is so critical. And what is training camp? A great training camp gives you a chance to have a great season. It's one of those building blocks, I talk about all the time.
One of the things you mentioned out in Vegas, too, was the running back competition. I guess, what do you want to see from that group that's going to determine how you split up carries once the season starts?
Yeah, I mean, it's competition, right? And it's everything they do. It's how they practice, how they meet, how they take care of their bodies. Everything is evaluated, but that's every position. It just happens to be we have some really talented guys at the position, and someone's got to rise up and be the one that heads out on the field against Ohio with the first team. And we're trying to figure that out. We'll rotate guys. We're going to give everybody as equitable a chance, right, behind the same line, against the same defense. We're really going to be much like when you have a quarterback competition, because we want to make sure that we're evaluating apples to apples.
I know you talked about him a little bit at the Charity Golf Classic, but Spencer Brown coming in, and this was an opportunity now to kind of see, his work this offseason. What are your thoughts about him, and have there been any kind of philosophical changes with the strength and conditioning program?
Yeah, there's been some. I mean, Spencer, first off, has done an unbelievable job. I mean, really galvanizing the strength staff, the players. I'm pleased, really, really pleased with where we're headed. But it's been what, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, so it's not like he's had a ton of time. But we have made some. You know, one of the things that I believe in is you hire great people and then you let them do their job. You give them direction and you give them a vision, but you have to let them, you know, do what they believe is best. That's why you hired them. So I listen to them. Unless I'm vehemently opposed, I usually let people lead their area of expertise. So he's made some changes already, and he's talked to me about other things he'd like to change, and I'm all for it.
You talk about hiring great people. Kirk Shraka, in his first 2 years here, the offense has taken a leap in those 2 seasons. What are you kind of hoping to see from that offense this season?
Continue. Just continue the trajectory that it's on. And you're right, Kirk is the best. I have complete trust in him. He does an unbelievable job. We're very fortunate to have him. And his staff as well. You know, we've been able to keep his staff together. They're doing a great job. We were able to add Johnny McNulty back to the staff, which is huge. So I'm really excited about our staff in general, and certainly the job that Kirk's done with the offensive staff. We just need to continue on that trajectory. Athan's a big part of that, right? You know, I've talked before. We have a big guy to replace, and I think, you know, sometimes it gets overlooked. But that left tackle, he started 50-something games, and you know, we have to replace him. So that's not a little thing to replace, and he's not a little man to replace, right? One of the biggest in the country. So, but we're working at it. We'll figure it out.
Final question. It sounds like Rutgers potentially has a new athletic director. Do you have any thoughts on Kelly Zinn being the choice?
You know, until it's official, I don't think it's appropriate for me to make any comments. You know, when it is, I certainly will be there to help you guys out, okay? Is that fair? All right, guys. Thanks. Appreciate you covering.